Hey, what's up guys, this is Astranox. In this video, we're gonna go over Wyvern stage 13. It's different compared to the previous stages. This is the team I'm gonna be using. This is a free-to-play team. You can obtain all these heroes. Minus 3-star Taranor Guard, you have to pull for him, but still very, very free-to-play team. Actually, like Mistychain, you have to pull for her as well, sorry. So Mistychain and Taranor Guard, they are natural 3-star ice heroes. You have to get them from the gacha system, but still I call this a free-to-play team because these are 3-star heroes, very easy to get, right? You could start your account from the selective summon and get them out of that, right? It's nothing crazy. I'm not asking for a natural 5-star hero. This team, so what this team has going for itself, they have debuffs. And that's what you want. You want 3 debuffs on the boss, or he will attack a random party member. So that is a big problem if it does happen. You might have noticed I have Syra Ran on Mistychain to increase my chance of landing a debuff on the boss. So the first thing to notice is that the Wyvern has high speed. He goes first. Right there, we have a debuff on the boss. And well, that's not gonna be enough. So we have to be lucky here. If he attacks someone else, okay, he decided to attack our frontliner. The thing is, you need effectiveness. You need more effectiveness. You need 65% effectiveness against this this Wyvern stage 13, guys. We have 3 debuffs now. He guarantee attack the frontliner. We have attack break. We have 3 debuffs. That means the boss is doing greatly reduced damage against us. Mistychain is providing a source of healing. Nothing crazy, but you see the damage that we take is really little compared to how much we got before. No debuff here. This might be bad. Let's see here. Yeah, no Siren, nothing. No debuffs at all. But it's the barrier phase. Thankfully, it's the barrier phase. So let's load up the debuffs. Let's break this barrier. We have defense down on the boss. It's all good. Daydream Joker on Alexa, the dedicated damage dealer of the group. Taranor Guard is there for debuffing with an artifact, Junkyard Dog, to have a chance to apply burn effect on the boss for 2 turns. You don't need this artifact. My effectiveness is not even at 65%. So if I do have 65%, then, well, I'm going to be able to land my debuffs. So there we go. Let's go over my stats and talk about different team compositions that you could be running, guys. Keep in mind, 5-star heroes are much better for this, right? Because most of them have a ton of debuffs. This is a free-to-play team, and it's definitely not that easy to get, well, I guess these stats. This is not your early, you know, game team for Wyvern 13, but it's gonna give you an idea what you need to work toward, right? So let's go over Crozet. He doesn't have any skill ups, so you have to keep that in mind. This is pretty solid, right? No skill ups, and he has self-memory imprint. There was 2 copies I fed into him, so I got a bit of defense out of that. But his skill ups, I would increase this, right, to increase the chance to apply defense, attack break, sorry. So that cuts the attack in half. That's huge. This is gonna automatically apply defense buff and barrier on the ally with the lowest health, aka it's gonna be himself, but it's gonna get dispelled by the boss. By the way, the boss actually gets yeah, the boss is getting 20% combat readiness if you're attacking him with off-element heroes. You cannot use any healing against this boss. Stage 13 of Wyvern, you cannot, Wyvern, you cannot heal while he's attacking. So like if you're trying to use like Rowana, Touch a Rico's artifact, like you cannot trigger healing while he's attacking, unfortunately. So that's my stats, that is his gear. Nothing crazy, guys. Over 30,000 health. To be honest, this gear, most of it is the free item level 75 health set pieces that we got. Plus, this weapon rolled better than what I got from the item level 75, and this had better survival between defense and health. So that is Crozet. Let's go over Mistychain. She's an amazing hero, you know, 3-star mage. She can wear Syra Ren, so that's another way for you to actually land a debuff, and that will definitely save your behind because you need to have 3 debuffs on the Wyvern or he will attack a random team member. You could survive the volley of attack and stabilize your group afterward. The problem is that's too random. The Wyvern might land a critical hit. You know, his damage goes up as the battle drags on. Yeah, your damage dealer is probably gonna get sniped, and if you end up dying, well, you're probably wiping. I mean, I was doing a ton of damage, right? I was still doing a ton of damage because Alexa is amazing. But yeah, these stats here, you need 65% effectiveness. Usually you need 55% effectiveness for stage, you know, for stage 11. I believe stage 12 needs 65% effectiveness as well, from what I remember, but I downed it quick. Stage 12 is like same as 11. It's just more health, like 200,000 health on the boss, and that's pretty much it. So key things here, you need 85% crit chance on an ice hero versus the Wyvern because you are at elemental advantage with being ice. So you're getting a free 15% crit chance. 85% crit chance, as much critical hit damage as possible. If I wasn't wearing Syra Ren, I would be wearing Daydream Joker, guys, because it deals damage proportional to the target's max health. Gets increased if you have defense break on the target, gets increased with your when you land a critical hit chance, it gets increased with your critical hit damage. And of course the more speed means you're gonna go more often, so you're gonna be able to deal more damage. But the Wyvern is able to outspeed my whole team, guys. The Wyvern has like something like 200, over 200 speed or like something like that, because my Taranor Guard is I'll show you in a second, but he's probably very close to 200 speed. So yeah, 65% effectiveness. Those debuffs are key, guys. They are key. You can transition into Daydream Joker when you have more reliable ways to land debuffs. Maybe you're going to be adding a new hero in the team that that is stronger, that has a better chance to land debuffs or lands more debuffs. But yeah, her kit, what is really amazing is that she provides some healing here. It's not much, but it's something. And this healing is much higher on skill 3 as well. 3-star heroes are great. You can just skill them up to plus 15, plus 15 using Catalyst, Rare Catalyst, plus Stigma and Gold. I love it. And this skill is a game changer for free-to-play players because attack break, cutting the attack by 50% on herself and Crozet is huge. The unhealable, we don't care about it, but it's a debuff, so we still care about it. It's really important. So 2 debuffs out of her, Syra Ren, maybe a 3rd debuff, or even if she goes, you know, more often, she might be able to stack more. But the thing is, this only lasts 1 turn. The Wyvern is so fast, so you're only gonna be able to just like have 3 debuffs coming out of her, assuming this doesn't get resisted. But at least you might be landing one of those debuffs, like, so it's not so bad. Syra Ren trigger, Taranor Guard applies defense break. Alexa, she is your main damage dealer. She is insane. She can attack twice with this skill when she lands a critical hit. So she's wearing Daydream Joker. The poison, you need to turn on her skills. Before we turned off her skills because we just want to use skill 1, but we're going to be relying on her poison, and it's going to be crucial. When it lands, it lasts 2 turns, and that is huge. That is huge even if the debuff gets consumed, aka burn, bleed, and poison. Even if it does get consumed, it still counts as a debuff on the boss because it's calculated before he goes, so it will count toward the 3 debuffs. Even if your poison, burn, bleed is on 1 turn left and it gets consumed before the Wyvern gets attacks, still counts as you know, toward the 3 debuffs. So yeah, this deals a ton of damage as well. So I recommend that you skill up all these heroes. Of course, priority would be Mistychain. You know, her skill 2 definitely top priority. Taranor Guard skill 1 to land the defense break more often. So Alexa, that's her stats here real quick. So I have more crit chance, and of course you have to keep in mind that when you will be enhancing the gear, right, you will do reforging, you will increase your stats of item level 85 or higher item level 85 hunt gear, right, to item level 90, your stats will go up. You will have more crit chance, more effectiveness and all that. So you shouldn't be that worried about increasing your effectiveness and swapping all your gear straight off the bat. But still, you can get these materials for doing reforging from hunt stage 11, 12, and 13. But Alexa, her gear, like effectiveness, I still need 6% effectiveness. Her speed, of course, I'd like it to be higher, but the critical hit damage after getting 85% crit chance is important. Like, you need to up that as much as possible because it will scale with Daydream Joker and that will do tremendous damage. Very, very important. She's on triple crit sets, but you can go speed crit right on her. As much speed as possible is always great. And you're going to be farming a Wyvern, so speed is definitely something that you want to, get a ton of. So Taranor Guard, yeah, he has 55% effectiveness. Unfortunately, I want him at 65%, so he has better chance to land his defense break. You turn off his skills. Very important, guys. You want him to use skill 1 only because he will land defense break with this thing, right? 75% chance for 1 turn. These two here, this is a passive. You don't need that. I mean, it's not a skill that is used. It just triggers automatically. If you turn off his skills, skill 1 and skill 2 will trigger. Skill 3, you don't want that. You cannot reduce the combat units of the boss, by the way, guys. So yeah, turn off his skills. You want to have self-memory imprint turned on to have some critical hit chance, so it will be easier to gear him. This artifact is from the Guilty Gear collaboration. The thing is, you don't need it. You don't need this artifact because if you end up landing your debuffs with the rest of your heroes, you're going to be fine, right? But it's going to help you, if you do have it, it's going to help you to increase your success rate for your runs, unless you're able to tank the 3 attacks from the Wyvern, especially if you have attack break on him. It's going to be much simpler. And then if you're using a Soul Weaver on the team, maybe it's going to be a frontliner, it's going to be a Soul Weaver, and you're going to be able to like stabilize your team and just take the damage. And especially if you have like an Angelica, like she applies a barrier on your hero, so the first hit is going to get absorbed by the barrier, even though he dispels on each attack 1 debuff. But yeah, that's his gear real quick here. I have too much critical hit chance on him. I only need 85%, including his self-memory imprint. Yeah, like I said, 10 effectiveness missing, 10%. The speed is close to 200. To be honest, like, you don't want Taranor Guard to go before the Wyvern. You need to have him go before your team. If you make him too fast, he's gonna go before the boss, and then he's gonna apply defense break. The boss is gonna go, you're gonna lose the defense break. This is going to be real bad. He needs to be tight in combat units with the rest of the group. Not too tight because there is a minus to plus 5% speed roll that happens randomly every time the heroes go. But you need to make him in range of your second, third, damage dealer, support, whatever. Don't make him too fast. Don't let him go too early. So this is going to be huge because it applies attack buff on himself when he triggers a dual attack. It's helpful for some more damage, but the biggest thing is increased dual attack chance for himself and increased combat readiness of all allies, including himself, by 25% when he triggers a dual attack. And that will allow you to go crazy against the barrier or even before. Very, very powerful hero, man. I love this hero. This is on my first account on Global. I built this guy since Global release, and I still haven't stopped using him. This team is actually pretty solid because the cool thing is that those heroes are free-to-play friendly, but yeah, I mean, the whole team is ice, and that's going to be the biggest thing. Having ice heroes, easy to skill them up to bring them to plus 15. That is major compared to like 4 or 5 star heroes. Like my Crozet, I didn't even skill him up because I don't have the Molagoras, but having the increased chance to land the attack break is nice. The thing is, it's going to be hard to increase his effectiveness if you're going all in on health and defense, guys. This artifact is a big player here. Decreased damage by boss and elites by 30%. This allows him to just hold the front line really well. And yeah, I love it. His base health and defense are super high, and that is super important because just by using some healing from Mistychain, he's able to hold the front, and that's great. And you're able to stabilize your group during barrier phase with Mistychain. Even though she doesn't provide that much healing, it's still pretty solid. To be honest, Mistychain yeah, the healing is not that much. The more damage she will do, the more healing she will do. So the thing is, maybe you're able to bring her in your team. Maybe you drop the Syra Ren and you go with Daydream Joker because you have maybe a 4 or 5 star hero in your group that's not free to play friendly, right? But still like a cigarette that just like lands a bunch of bleeds. It will be much easier to get 3 debuffs on the boss, right? So it's gonna be, you can just have Daydream Joker on her. She's gonna be dealing damage based on the target's max health. She's gonna be healing more, and that's gonna be great. But for now, I'm gonna be running the team like this, and it works out just fine. Just real quick, let's talk about heroes that you can definitely use in this place. So let's talk about like Kisei. She doesn't have debuff, so that doesn't work. Says he's great because he has unhealable, right? He has unhealable with this thing, so that's definitely great. And he has unhealable with skill 1. It's 100% chance. He could be great, but the thing is, he's a damage dealer. When it comes down to a damage dealer, yes, his debuff is reliable versus, let's say, Alexa. So, and especially when the boss is below 50% health, he will attack with skill 2 again. With Daydream Joker, it's going to be a lot of damage with defense break. So Saz could be there instead of Alexa. I feel like the thing is, Alexa lands 2 debuffs, 2 poisons, which deal damage. Each poison tick is 5% of the target's health. So that's definitely helpful. And her double attack with skill 1, I mean, her damage is crazy. Her damage is crazy. So it's hard to justify swapping her out. No animation, no skill animation, faster runs. Chloe is going to be great. With her exclusive equipment, she can land defense break. And with the magic nail, right? The magic nail, that's a debuff. So you got defense break and magic nail coming out of Chloe. Her defense break, I believe, is last 2 turns. Definitely going to be a great hero there, but I'm talking about free-to-play friendly teams. But the thing is, if you do have one of these heroes, it's going to make it simpler for you guys. Sigurd is going to be crazy for you. I mean, with the bleeding, the unhealable, and yeah, penetration of defense based on how many debuffs are applied, and the fact that she can, 100% chance to get an extra attack with skill 1 after smash. That's insane. That's so many debuffs, so many chances. Even if you get resisted on some of them, it's all good. Luna, she's got defense break. So, I mean, you could use her, but I prefer the Taranor Guard because the defense break is going to be more reliable, higher uptime on that. He's just great boosting combatantness of the team. Great hero. So many times he can just dual attack with some of your heroes, apply defense break, it wasn't there, or do extra damage, boost combatantness of the team. He's insane. You could have Crow on the front line, the defense buff's gonna get removed. So that's a problem, right? But I mean, if you get him to maybe you need more effect resistance against this boss compared to stage 11 before, but 160% effect resistance was how you resisted every dispel from the boss. So you could have a Soul Weaver with, like, let's say maybe it's more, but I'll test it out later with my Angelica Morency on account number 3. But effect resistance, you could resist all the dispels and rely on defense buff on your frontliner or on your team. But I mean, it's going to be the frontliner that you want to be attacked, so 3 debuffs is going to be really important. Ceres, of course, I mean, she's got some debuffs, but the problem is I'm not sure if the boss is actually immune to speed. I know, yeah, he's immune to speed debuff, guys. He's immune to speed debuff. Or if he's not, speed debuff doesn't do anything to him. But I'm pretty sure he's immune. I'm pretty sure he's immune to speed. Restrict, he might be immune. Okay, never mind. Ceres doesn't work. Ceres, she's out of the question. Seaside Bellona, she's going to be great, right? Limited hero. Unable to be buff, debuff, unhealable. Defense break, target. Man, that's so many debuffs. Seaside Bellona, definitely going to make it simpler for you guys. Dizzy, of course, attack break out of her here, but the decreased speed is not going to work. But the fact that she increased the debuff duration by 1 turn is going to be huge. You cannot reduce combat readiness though. She can wear Syra Ren, so yeah, that's going to be huge. Luluka, defense break, defense buff, more like defense break on skill 1 and 3. That could work, but still, Taranor Guard, I feel like he's just too strong. He is too strong. Frontliner, you could have Tywin, I guess. He's got defense break. To be honest, it's all about being the biggest meat shield. It's about surviving, but he's got attack and crit chance buff. Maybe he applies that on your damage dealer, and that's going to be huge. So yeah, Crawl could be in the front line. He's going to lose the defense buff if you don't have like a ton of effect resistance, 160%. So yeah, he can use skill 3 to do some damage and have a barrier, but it's going to be dispelled anyways. Yeah, so Karen, crazy damage dealer, can definitely be using this hero, man. I mean, defense break, she gets an extra turn. That skill 2 and to skill 3 is completely insane damage. Definitely can be your damage dealer instead of Alexa. The thing is, Alexa, man, with the 2 poisons, that is huge, guys. That is super huge. So I don't know about Karen in this situation. Still, if you're able to burst down the boss, like you have like a one-shot team or like a team that can burst the boss down before barrier or something like that, at least when we fail the runs, we don't actually have to worry about it too much, right? We don't lose energy. It's just we lose some time, of course. Clarissa, she can definitely work out. She got decreased defense now on skill 3. She's got 2 bleeds for 2 turns. And like I said, even if the bleed, the damage gets consumed, it still counts as a debuff. So yeah, defense break here plus 2 bleeds. She's gonna be definitely usable in you know, Wyvern 13. So keep that in mind. She's going to be a great farmer for you as well. Crozet, like I said, look at his base stats. They are completely crazy. Look at that, man. Almost 7,000 health. You can get him for free from the connection guys. Free to play friendly hero. His connection's a bit long to actually complete in early game, but still, definitely going to be a great hero. Between the health and the defense, his base health and defense, it's a lot of mitigation, a lot of effective health out of that hero. He's a knight. That's the biggest take out of it. If you're gonna run a team like mine with barely any healing, right, that is huge. Having sort of a Zera artifact from the Hall of Trolls shop, my god, 30% damage reduction is going to be huge on top of your defense and health. If you're frontliner, you could have more defense than health. To be honest, it's not all about health. I could have more defense on him and less health, like let's say closer to 2000 defense. There is a diminishing return on defense, so don't stack it too much. Have a balance of health and defense. So I would build mine with actually more defense and less health, so he takes less damage per hit, meaning there's no defense break on him, so that's gonna happen. So who cares, right? What happens is that healing is gonna be more powerful. It's gonna be he's gonna require less healing to get to a higher health percentage, and that's gonna be important. That's definitely going to be important. You could have your Angelica like back in the days, or still now as your frontliner, so Weaver. Water's Origin artifact is going to be super important for you to to stay alive, because the boss is doing quite a bit of damage. Her healing output is completely crazy. You could have Prophetic Candlestick 3-star artifact on her. This heals 2 times on her if she's the only one that took damage. It's gonna double dip, and that's insane. That's why Angelica is such widely used in frontline as healer and as tank. And her base stats, defense is higher than health. You could build her with more defense than health. By the way, guys, I have a PVE Angelica actually on this account, and she has more defense than health, and she works out just fine. Furious can definitely work. Free to play friendly hero. You can get him from the connection. Decreased defense, plus he got burned here. So that's pretty huge. You could wear maybe a Bloodstone 5-star artifact to have some healing out of him, or straight up go with the, you know, Daydream Joker. To be honest, like with the crit chance buff, you're gonna be able to build your team with 35% crit chance, and you're gonna get 50% out of the buff, plus 15% critical hit chance for free because you're at elemental advantage, ice versus fire. So that's going to be huge, guys. Furious can definitely be useful in there. The debuff is reliable, 100% chance. You do need to skill him up with Molagora. He's a 4-star hero. The burn chance is low, but still, yeah, it's still something, right? It's still something. What else do we have? 3-star heroes. Alexa, I really love her. The poison, 2 poisons is huge, right? Combativeness increase for herself. You can ignore effect resistance for 20 souls, but I mean, most players are not gonna manual. If you're gonna be manualing, I mean, you have the Guardian at your disposal as well. Jesus. So that's definitely much easier. But when we're talking about an auto team, it's about having 65% effectiveness, as much debuff as possible out of your team. In my case, out of my team, I'm taking a lot less damage on my frontliner because he's a knight. I don't have to bring a Soul Weaver that doesn't contribute to landing debuff. I have a tag break on Crozet. You could have counter set on Crozet if you want to increase your chance to apply a tag break on the boss, especially with skill ups. With Molagora investment on skill 1 is going to be huge, guys. So definitely something you want to consider. Taranor Guard, I mean, like I said, he's just crazy good. Let's go. Montmorency becomes Angelica Montmorency after the specialty change. You can have her tank in the front line, but you will definitely need Water's Origin, guys. She is a crazy healer, definitely super good. I'll try to get a video going with one of my other accounts, or maybe this account. I'll try to like stuff out for you guys and release some more videos. Angelica Montmorency, definitely a top contender. You could have her in the back line with a knight in the front line like Crozet with Sword of Azira. That's gonna work out just fine. You have a bunch of speed on her as much as possible. Rod of Amaryllis 5-star artifact is gonna allow you to increase your healing output with her, or well, any Soul Weaver. It's gonna be great to keep your frontliner alive. The thing is, if you're gonna be going with that with 2 damage dealer, like 1 support, 1 damage dealer, you're gonna have less chance to apply a debuff. So maybe you have a 4 or 5-star hero that applies more debuffs compared to hero that I brought in the team. So there's that. But if not, you might have to rely on just like taking the damage and on other hero, because you couldn't land 3 debuffs. And she's gonna stabilize the team, right? But having attack break is gonna allow you to survive. You're gonna have to build your heroes more tanky so you can take the damage. Keep that in mind, guys. You're gonna have to not go so offensive on your stats, but have also survival, some health and defense to be able to survive the triple attacks. But it's gonna come down to luck, because if the damage dealer gets attacked back to back and you're unlucky with your debuff, then it's gonna be a failed run. Still, doesn't cost anything to just do it again beside time. So LENA is super powerful, but the problem is she doesn't have debuffs. She doesn't have any debuff, but she's a warrior. You could have, you know, the artifact that I was running, Slump. What's the name? What is the name of that artifact? So you could have the artifact running of the Guilty Gear collaboration on her, and that will allow you to land burn on the boss. It's called, yeah, Junkyard Dog. So, but I would recommend Taranor Guard. Like, don't bring LENA in there. You're just gonna be shooting yourself in the foot. It's not gonna work out. Gina, I mean, you could bring her. She's a mage. Could have Sire Ren on her. She's got decreased hit chance. The prime is she's got the decreased speed here, but you got decreased attack and decreased hit chance. So that's 2 debuffs, right? The problem is the speed down, like the decreased speed debuff is not going to be applied, so that doesn't work. But still, and it's not 100% chance. It's not a skill 1, long cooldown on her skills. Not recommended. I think like what I've been running, that's pretty solid. Bass can definitely be used, but his base stats are not as high as Crozet. Look at the decreased attack. Same here, but the base, you know, health and defense is lower. So I recommend Crozet because he's got that skill too that triggers automatically when his health falls below. Well, when someone falls below 50% health, he applies defense buff plus barrier. It's really great. It's really great. So I would tell you to, like, I recommend you to stick with ice heroes in stage 13, because the boss, I believe, gets like 20% combat sureness if you're going with an off element hero that is not ice. So that is definitely a big problem. I'll be doing more videos for Wyvern 11. I'll be pulling for Sinful, Angelica, and Spectre Tenebria, so stay tuned for that, guys. But that's going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching. Astranox, like, comment, and subscribe for more. Press the bell icon to be notified whenever I release a new video. And check out my other videos. They should be showing up on the screen now. I got a playlist of all sorts for PvE and PvP content. Arena, Guild Wars, guys, tips and how-tos, and a business for 62+. So check those out if you haven't. And join my Discord server. The link is in the description. It's free, guys. Free to join. We have over 1,000 members now. If you want to get help or help the community, feel free to join us. Stay home, guys. COVID-19 is no joke. Stay safe out there. I'm Astranox. That's going to be it for this one. Good luck in all you do. Peace out for now. And I have a lot of free-to-play guides for you guys, especially for Wyvern, and yeah, a lot of information in there, so check those out. I mean, over 800 Epic 7 videos, guys, so check those out. Peace out for now.